So welcome to session 2, the microcontroller, that is 18EC46. So in the previous class we have seen what do you mean by microcontroller and what do you mean by microprocessor and difference between that, and we have seen what is embedded systems and the what are the microcontrollers it will be used in the embedded systems and the examples of the embedded systems and also the system which is developed by 8051. Okay, so now what is microcontroller? So as we know, the microcontroller is nothing but, so 8051, so that is 80 the 51 what we are talking. So this is we call as microcontroller, so which is an IC. Okay, so as we have seen in the previous session, so it is an IC. So basically what purpose it will be used? So it will be used in the embedded system. Okay, we know what are the embedded system and different types of embedded system examples. Okay, so within the embedded system, so this is one of the core core component. Okay, so which will be the major component or core component, so which will be used as a means which will control all the whatever operations. Okay, all the functioning, okay, everything will be done by the microcontroller. Okay, so initially it started with 8051. Okay, then as I said, so in the recent we are using the ARM controllers. Okay, so we can call as ARM 7 TDMI. Okay, ARM 7 TDMI we will be using. So now basically the microcontroller is a device. Microcontroller is an IC, so which will be using in the embedded system as a major component to do the functioning. Okay, to do all the operations, so which will be controlled by the microcontroller. Okay, so now after knowing what is microcontroller and what are the applications of that, okay, so now you move on to in this session, so you'll know it is 8051 architecture. Okay, so what do you okay, what inside? So actually what we know is, so in the microcontroller is nothing but it consists of CPU and memory it will be there, and timers and IO device, IO interfaces, all those things all together is we call as one IC, so that we call as microcontroller. So the what is the inside architecture means, if you take the CPU. Okay, if you take the CPU, so what is the inside CPU architecture and how the external RAM, ROM and IO ports, how it is connected and what are the resistors it will be used. Okay, so all those things we will see in this session, and also the features. Okay, what are the 8051 features? So let us move on to the architecture now. Okay, so here this is the 8051 architecture. So in the previous we have seen this diagram. Okay, so as you are seeing in the blue color, that is the micro consists of CPU, RAM, ROM, IO port, timer and COM port, the serial COM ports. So this together, whole together, it will be in single IC, so that we call as the microcontroller. Okay, so now that is in the diagrammatic way or picture way. Okay, it is the internal architecture of the IC, so that what we are looking in this diagram here. Okay, internal architecture. So now in that what it consists of? Okay, it consists of ALU. So this block we call as a ALU, that is arithmetic and logic unit. So what it will do is, it will do the job of whatever the functioning, okay, whatever functions. So basic arithmetic means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These all things we call as a arithmetic operations. Okay, what we'll do with calculators. So then logic unit. So logic unit in the sense there are logical operations also. Okay, so what we have studied in digital design. Okay, for example, AND operation, OR operation, XOR. Okay, whatever the basic gates, whatever operation it will do. Okay, that we call as XOR, XNOR. Okay, NAND. All these we call as the logical operations. So the ALU block is required to do the arithmetic and logical operations. Okay, so that is one of the block in the internal structure. Okay, then if you come to A and B. Okay, so A and B is we call as a temporary registers. Okay, so all these things we'll see in detail. So now in this diagram, so what we'll know is, so what it consists of and what is the purpose of that. Okay, so what it is basically, so we knew about ALU now, okay, which will do arithmetic and logical operations. Then A and B, so A and B are the registers, 8-bit registers. Okay, so what do you mean by 8-bit register? So if you take, okay, if you, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, okay, 8. Okay, so if you call this as a register, okay, so what it means is it can store the 8-bit values. Okay, 8 bits, for example 0, okay, 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1. Okay, so this is 0 here, so 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1, so that it will be stored here, means the same thing here, we can store the values. Okay, so now that A we call as accumulator, A also we can call as accumulator, and B is one more register. Okay, so both we call as a the temporary register, and which can hold 8-bit value. For example, if you take in hexadecimal, okay, if you take hexadecimal 45 H, H means hexadecimal 45H, so this is in hexadecimal. In binary it will be, this means 4 0 1 0 0, and this means 0 1 0 1, so totally there are 8 bits, so 8 bits will be stored in the A. Okay, so whatever the operations we can do, that is addition, subtraction, division, whatever it is, so these through A and B the ALU perform the what the operations. Okay, this we call as a operands. Okay, so A and B, from which the data will be means it will be read from the A and B, and it will calculate again, it will be stored in A or B or memory, whatever it is. Okay, so these are 8 register to store the values. Okay, then if you come to the PC, that we call as program counter. Okay, program counter is, the PC means program counter. So what it will, what is the job of that is, the program counter will hold, so this is a 16-bit address, sorry, 16-bit register. So basically the register means it is a collection of bits. Okay, register means collection of bits, means we can store the value, either it can be 8-bit or it can be 16-bit based on the size. Okay, so here the PC is 16-bit register which will hold the address of the next instruction to be executed. Okay, so how the microcontroller will work? So microcontroller will work based on the instructions, based on the instructions. Okay, so what do you mean by instruction in the sense? So the instruction is a one, for example I take, okay, for example if I take add r1 comma r2. Okay, add r1 comma r2 means add is a operation here. What to add? The contents of r1 and r2. So these are the registers. Okay, I will tell you where it will be, and in detail we will see later. So just I am giving example what we mean by instruction. Okay, this instruction will tell to the CPU or microcontroller that you need to do addition operation bit of the values of the r1 and r2. Okay, and result it can be stored in the again r1, for example. Okay, so this is we call as an instruction. So these kind of means the functionality what we want to do from the microcontroller, so that we will write the program. The program is nothing but set of instructions. Okay, so these instructions will be stored in the memory, whatever we are talking about ROM here. Okay, so in this ROM, the whatever the program you want to execute, so that it will be stored in the ROM. Okay, so that ROM, so each instruction it will be stored in the memory. So for example, as I told, add r1 comma r2, so this is the first instruction we need to execute, so that will be stored in the, for example, 000 address. Okay, so that address it will be stored in the PC. Okay, suppose this add instruction is executed, then that address will be incremented by 1, means the next instruction will be executed. So that is the job of the PC program counter. Okay, then DPTR. DPTR means data pointer. Okay, so data pointer is a one. In that again you can, we are seeing here DPH and DPL. Okay, so DPH comma DPL. Okay, so DP means data pointer with higher byte, data pointer with a lower byte. So this is also 16 bit. The DPTR is a 16 bit, so which will hold, okay, which will hold the address, which will hold the sorry, which will hold the address, okay, to access the data, to access the data. Okay, so like the program, okay, so basically what is the memory? So memory is nothing but set of locations, okay, memory is nothing but set of locations, so which we can access through the address. If there are 8 locations, then 8 addresses will be there, so this we call as a address. From this address we can fetch the, or we can read the value. Okay, similarly there is a data memory will be separate and instruction memory will be separate here. Okay, so this program will be accessed by PC, that is program counter. Similarly, whatever the data stored in the RAM, that will be accessed using the DPTR, 16 bit DPTR. Okay, for example, if you take 1234H, okay, H is hexadecimal. Hexadecimal means one hexadecimal value will be represented with 4 bits. Okay, so totally 4 hexadecimal values, that is 4 into 4, that is 16 bits. So 16 bits will be stored in the DPTR register. So if it is 1 2 3 4, 3 4 is a lower, it will be stored in DPL, and 1 2 is a higher, it will be stored in DPH. Okay, so that is a job of DPTR, which will store the address of the data memory to access that. Okay, the next one, PSW. Okay, so PSW is program status world. Okay, we call as program status world, so which we are seeing in the next slide. Okay, which is used to know the status of the operation, means of the microcontroller. So after doing any function or after doing any execution, any instruction execution, okay, what is the status? So what are the flags are set, and what is the overflow, whether is it result is overflow, okay, or whether is it is result is positive or negative. So like the status of the result, it will be stored in the PSW, which is 8-bit register. Okay, PSW is 8-bit register. Then if you come to the RAM, okay, so this RAM is again it is stored, means again it is shown like this. Okay, this RAM here, SFR, special function registers, and also RAM. Okay, so this RAM is briefly it is given here. Okay, so briefly it is given here, so which consists of bank 0 1 2 3. Okay, register bank 0 1 2 3. Okay, so here total it will be having 128 k bytes. Okay, so 128 k bytes, 128 bytes, not k. Okay, so 128 bytes of memory it will be there. Okay, RAM. So this 128 bytes, okay, 128 bytes RAM, it will be distributed, okay, like this. So internal, there is a separate session, it will be there. So internal memory organization, so in that this all memory, what is register bank 0 1 2 3, all those things, and what is this IP, IE, PCON, SBUF, all these details, and SFR, all these details with addresses and clear internal diagrams we will see in the next subsequent sessions. So here the RAM is nothing but the data memory, so which will be used for storing the our values. Okay, so which will be the different sections it has, bank 0 1 2 3. So whatever bank 0 is there, so each bank 0 having 8 registers, R0 to R7. Okay, whatever 4 banks are there, each bank will have 8 registers of each one of 8 bit. Okay, means R0 is 8 bit, R1 is 8 bit, so like that there are 8 registers. Okay, 8 registers, R0 to R7, which can store 8 bit values. Okay, so that is we call as bank 1 2 3. Okay, then whatever these registers we are calling as TL1, TH1, TL0, TMOD, these all we call as control registers. Okay, these all we call as a control registers. Okay, so microcontroller will do different functions. Okay, timer functions, counter functions, serial communication functions. Okay, all those things, so that setting will be done through the these control registers. So okay, these things we will see in detail later. Okay, so SFR means special function registers. Okay, so as we said, so CPU is nothing but this part. Okay, the CPU is nothing but this part, and RAM is here and ROM is here. Okay, this is all over, and IO port is nothing but this portion. Okay, and timers and serial port. Okay, timers and serial port is here. Okay, so whatever the diagram what we have seen in the previous session with this whatever IC block diagram, so that is what the internal what it consists of: CPU, RAM, ROM, IO port, timers and serial ports. Okay, so whatever this portion is there, it is extension of the RAM here, means internal of the RAM, this portion. Okay, so now we have seen what is CPU, and we have seen RAM, we have seen ROM, and now the IO port. Okay, so IO port is having the latch. So latch is nothing but uh, again it will there is a hardware circuit, so which will latch the value. Okay, latch in the sense it will store the value. So unless until we change the value, it will remain same. So whatever the data will come from the outside, so it will be latched here. Okay, so it will be latched based on the again instructions. Okay, again instructions and a particular signal, it will be latched. Okay, how it will be latched and how it will operate, all those things we'll see later. At present, what internal architecture of the microcontroller. Okay, CPU, RAM, ROM. So this we call as IO port, which consists of the latch to store the values, and this is port 0 means, and here in the port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, so all ports will have 8 pins. Okay, totally there are 32 pins here, 8 8 8 8, totally the 32 pins, IO pins, 32 IO pins this microcontroller will have, and this is port 0. Okay, 8 pins here, and this is the bidirectional. Okay, so all these things are bidirectional in the sense each pin we can send the value or we can receive the value. Suppose if it is P0.0. Okay, so P0.0 means port 0 first pin, and P0.1 means port 0 second pin. So like this it will be having P0.7 means totally 8 pins, 0 to 7, 8 pins here, 8 pins here, 8 pins here, 8 pins here, 8 pins. Okay, so here the port 0, we can see here port 0 will act as normal input output. Port 0 can act as we can send the data, and port 0 it can act as A0 to A7 means it can act as address pins, it can act as data pins. Okay, and port 1 is only IO, it can act as only IO means to send the data and receive a data, not as address. And if you come to the port 2, okay, so A0 to A7 is here, and A8 to A15 is here, means port 2 also it will act as only address lines. Okay, address, and we can send the values. Okay, we can send the values, not as data bus. Data bus is only port 0. We can connect if you want to connect anywhere any device, so this did not we need to connect. Okay, so this is individual pin. Okay, the whatever port 1, port 2, okay, all are individual pins, we can connect to individual whatever pins to the external devices. If you want to connect data bus, it is here. Okay, if you want to read, so then what is A8 to 815, and the port 3 is multifunctional. We can use as normal IO port, we can read and write, and also what is this, it can act as interrupt pins, counter pins, serial pin, read write control pins, so like that. Okay, so this we call as the multifunctional pins, means each pin can act as a means two different functions. Okay, so now okay, we have seen okay, we have seen now IO port, RAM, ROM, CPU. Okay, and timer and serial port is this block. Okay, and these are connected to other external means these all signals ALE, EA, PSEN, XTAL1, XTAL2, reset. Okay, so all these things we will see in the pin diagram. Each pin indicates what. Okay, so we have seen the internal block diagram of the IC. Okay, what it consists of and for what purpose we are using that. Okay, in the next subsequent sessions, so we'll see exactly like what I told, the internal memory organization. So each and everything, what it is and what is the address of that and how to access that, all those things. And also there will be a separate session on only IO port, how to access IO port as input and how to access IO port as output. Okay, all those things. So this is a brief introduction about 8051 architecture. Okay, so in the exam or whatever, you need to draw these diagrams and we need to mention what is the purpose of these registers and what is the size of that. Okay, for example, A and B are 8-bit registers, and ROM, what is the size of ROM, and what the RAM. Okay, so what it consists of. Okay, and what is the purpose of this, what is a PSW, all those things. So brief introduction, okay, sorry, brief information about all these blocks we need to explain. So let us move on the same thing. So what I have explained now, just I made it some of the text on that. Okay, so ROM, so whatever the ROM we have seen, the size of the internal ROM is 4K. So what do you mean by 4K? So 4K means there will be 4096 bytes. Okay, 4096 bytes. So 1K means, as all of you know, 1024. 1K bytes means 1024 bytes. So 4K means 4096 bytes. So first of all, what is a byte? So we know bit means either 0 or 1. This we call as 1 bit. What do byte means? Byte means 8 bits. Okay, if it is 8 bits, 0 1 1 0 1 1 0. Okay, so if it is 8 bits together, we call as 1 byte. Okay, so like this there are 4K bytes, like as I told, 4096 bytes. Okay, if that is that much of the size of ROM, okay, 0 to 4095 locations. Okay, so if it is this, and what is the address space is, okay, so address space is from 0002 to 0FFF. Okay, so how many bits are required for that? Okay, 4096. Okay, if it is 4096, so what you need to do is 2 raised to, if you do 2 raised to 16, okay, if you do 2 raised to 16, it will be 64K. 64K, that is 65,536 locations we call as 64 memory if it is 16 lines are required. Okay, suppose for 1K 10 lines are required. This is a standard. Okay, so 1K 10 lines are required, address lines are required. Okay, similarly for 11 address lines, 2K means double. For 12 address lines, it is 4K. We need to remember 10 lines required for 1K, then 11 will be 2K, 12 will be 4K. Okay, so as it is 4K bytes, so how many address lines are required? 0002 FFF. Okay, so this is in hexadecimal. So as I told, there are 3 hexadecimal, 3 into 4, that is 12 lines. Okay, 12 lines are required. Okay, so whatever the ROM block is there, that can store 4K bytes of memory. Okay, so suppose if you want to if you want to store more than that, okay, if you want to store more than that, then we need to communicate with the external memory, means external memory we need to connect. Okay, so now next, so this is about the ROM. Now next one is accumulator. As I said, after the ALU, okay, after the ALU we have seen 2 registers, A and B. Okay, so that accumulator we are calling as A register. Accumulator we are calling as A register, and this is 8-bit register, widely used for arithmetic and logical operations, and is also used to transfer the data between accumulator and the external memory. Okay, and the B register will be used with accumulator for multiplication and division. So as I said, both A and B together, it will be used for the arithmetic operations. So because of that, we can also call it as the math registers, both A and B. Okay, the next one, the PSW. Okay, so PSW is one of the register. okay, in the architecture, as I told, program status register. So what it will be, it is a 8-bit register. Okay, so as we are seeing here, 8 bits. Okay, usually it will be 0 to 7. Okay, this we call as LSB, least significant bit, and this we call as MSB, most significant bit. Okay, so now, okay, so 0 to 7 here. Okay, so in that, what it consists of is, the first bit is parity. So parity means, suppose if any result is there, okay, suppose if any result in A or B or in memory, whatever it is, so how many number of ones in that 8 bit? Okay, how many number of ones? Is it even or odd? Okay, for example, if you take 0 1 1 1 1 1 0, okay, it is 8 bit. Now how many ones are there? 5. 3 plus 2, 5. So this is odd parity. Okay, like number of ones is odd, so like that, the number of ones is how much. So based on that, so we can decide whether is it even parity or odd parity, like that. Okay, so that is one of the parameter which it will show. The next one is it is blank there, they are not using any purpose. And OV is overflow. Okay, if the result is exceeds 8-bit value, sorry, if the result is exceeds 8-bit value, in that case this particular bit will be set to 1. Okay, the next one, RS0, RS1. So these two bits together, it will be used to select the register banks. So as I said, we have 4 banks. Okay, that is bank 0, bank 1, bank 2 and bank 3, register bank in the internal RAM. Okay, so that each bank will have the 8 registers, R0 to R7. So any one of the bank we can use at a time, any one of the bank will use at a time. In that case, so when these RS0 and RS1 will be 0 0, first bank will be selected. If the RS1 RS0 is 1, then second bank. If it is 1 0, that is 2, then third bank. If it is 1 1, then third bank will be used. So to select the bank out of 4 bank, which bank we are using for the current at present, so that it will be decided by the RS0 and RS1. Okay, the next one, F0. So F0 is available for the what is that, available to the general purpose. Okay, general purpose means if suppose user want to set any bit. Okay, so this P, overflow, this all RS, AC, okay, carry, these all things will be set by the means in the programming only we will set. Okay, in the programming, but this carry and AC, overflow and parity will be based on the result. Based on the result it will be set. Okay, but based on the usage, this will be set by the user. But if you come to the F0, suppose user externally he want to set any bit based on the some results he want to set, in that case it will be used for the general purpose. Okay, the next one, auxiliary carry. So auxiliary carry and carry, what is the difference? So auxiliary carry is a one which will generate at the 4th bit. For example, if it is 8 bits are there, 0 1 0 0 1 0, if there are 8-bit value, okay, if you are doing any addition or any operation, if the carry is generated at the 4th bit, 4th bit means 1 1 2 3 4th bit, if it is carry generating at 4th bit, then we call as a auxiliary carry. If the carry is generated at 8th bit, okay, so if you take as from 1, it will be 8th, and if you start from 0 to 7, then it will be 3rd bit and it will be 7th bit. Okay, so if it is carry is generated at MSB or 7th bit, then we call as a carry. Okay, so that is the difference between auxiliary carry and the carry. And so that is these values, that's what, after the result, so these bits will be set based on the result. Okay, this we call as program status world. After executing, this register will be set. Okay, similarly, as I told, it consists of the stack pointer, sorry, it consists of the stack pointer. The stack pointer is again a register. Okay, the stack pointer is a 8-bit register, so which consists of Okay, it contains an address of the data item stored on the top of the stack. Okay, so stack is again one more the concept, so which is coming in the subsequent modules. Okay, the stack is nothing but again it is a temporary memory. Okay, the stack is again it is a part of RAM, and it is a temporary memory which will be stored into the which will be used to store the values. The stack temporary values, it will be stored. Okay, for that stack only, to access that, separate instructions are there. Okay, the stack, how it will work is, so usually when you store the values like 1 2 3 4 5, for example, if you store the values like this, while accessing the last one, it will come first. Means, for example, last in first out, we call as last in first out. Whichever is recently loaded or stored, so that will be accessed first, next, like this. Okay, so this is a different concept, the stack. So to the stack area, it will be there. Okay, to address that only, separate register, so that register we call as a the stack pointer, which will hold the address of the stack memory. Okay, so which will be start from 8, address 8, not from the 0, it will start from the address 8. Okay, similarly, as I told, the data pointer, the 16-bit data pointer, which will have higher byte and lower byte. Okay, so which will be used to uh, access the internal and also external memory. Okay, so both it will be used to internal and external program memory, and also the data memory. Okay, data pointer. So okay, so usually it will be used to, in most of the cases it will be used for the data memory. Okay, so based on the what we will store on the RAM or external memory, means basically it will be used to store access the external memory. Okay, so in external memory we can store either program or data. So based on that, so we can use the means based on the instruction or data, whatever it is stored, we can fetch through the this dptr. Okay, so 16-bit address. And similarly, as I told, program counter, so which contains the address of the next instruction to be executed. So as I told, the program is nothing but set of instructions, so one by one, sequential, here it will be executed one by one. Okay, instruction 1 2 3, like this. Okay, so first one will stored at 00, next will be stored at 001. Okay, so pc is again first point to here. Once it is executed, it will be incremented and point to next address. Okay, so that is a job of the program counter. So like this, these are the different the main registers. Okay, and cpu and all those things we have seen. And now, what are the features after seeing the architecture, and what are the features of the microcontroller? Okay, so as I told, 8-bit CPU. Okay, 8-bit CPU. So why we call as 8-bit? Okay, so 8-bit CPU is nothing but, okay, so whatever operation we are doing, that is A and B are 8-bit registers. Okay, whatever operation we are doing, that is of maximum 8-bit. Okay, means, for example, A is 8-bit, B is 8-bit. Okay, for example, 1 2 plus 3 4, for example 6 46. Okay, so A is 8-bit, B is 8-bit, and results also it will be 8-bit. So if it exceeds, the flags will be set. So at a time, only 8-bit it can do the operation. Because of that, we can call as a 8-bit CPU. Next, on-chip oscillator. So on-chip oscillator is nothing but, so whatever the timers we are calling, okay, to generate particular delay, or to count anything at particular time. Okay, so we need a clock. So that clock will be generated by oscillator. And we have 4K internal program memory, as we seen previously. The same thing, whatever you have discussed now, the same thing in a points. The 4K internal ROM it has, and 128 bytes, as I told, 128 bytes of internal RAM, and 64K, we can see here 64K bytes of external program memory, external data memory. Means, as we know, it has 16 means 8051 has 16 address lines. 16 address lines. So 2 raised to 16. As I told, it will come 64k locations it can access through the 16 address lines. Okay, to the 16 address lines. So as it has A0 to A7 and A8 to A15, if you use together both address lines, it will be 0 to 60, 0 to 15, that is 16 address lines, which will be used to access either 64k memory, program memory, or we can access 64k data memory. Totally the 64k we can access from the external, not together, means individual. Okay, so this is what one of the features. And as I told, there are 32 bidirectional IOs. Okay, as there are 4 ports are there, P0, P1, P2 and P3. So each of 8 pins, okay, all are bidirectional. Bidirectional means we can use as either input or output. And two 16-bit counters. Okay, so there are two 16-bit counters. So through the counters, or sorry, timers, which we can generate the delay. So that delay setting, it will be in these registers. Okay, these all things you'll see in detail what this 16-bit represents, individual bit. Okay, similarly there are some more the features here. And there is a option for serially communication. So serially we can read the data and we can send the data. For that we have the TX and RX pins, and we have four register banks, each of it means 8 registers in each bank. As I told, B0 to B4, and each one we have R0 to R7, 8 registers. Okay, then we have 16-bit program counter and 16-bit data pointer, and we have 8-bit program status world PSW register and 8-bit stack point register, and we have interrupt structure. Okay, that we'll see in the later. Okay, interrupt structure. And we have consist of means 8051 CPU consists of 8-bit ALU associated with A and B register, PSW, SP, same thing, the 16-bit program counter. Okay, all those things. And ALU can perform arithmetic and the logical functions on 8-bit values. Okay, and 8051 has, as I told, 128 bytes of internal RAM. In that, working registers. Okay, working registers means that is 32, 4 banks, what we are calling 32 registers, that is one bank 8 registers, that is we call as working registers. Then bit addressable memory area, that is 20 to 2F, whatever in the bracket, what we have, what it is mentioned in the bracket, that is a address. Okay, that is a address. 00 to 1F working registers, that is 32. Okay, then 20 to 2F bit addressable memory area, and general purpose is 30 to 7F. Okay, so all these things in detail, internal memory architecture, we will see in the next session. Okay, so now, so today we have seen okay, today we have seen, so what is a means how the microcontroller 8051 architecture looks like, and what it consists of, and what is the purpose of these things. Okay, all these blocks, what is the purpose. Okay, so in detail, internal what is the means in detail, each bit of these registers. Okay, how the IO circuits. Okay, all these things, it will be cleared in the subsequent sections. Okay, so and also we have seen the features. Okay, the silent features of the 8051. And I have referred the Kenneth Taylor second book, and also I have referred some internet resources, the images and some of the points. I have referred that one, and I greatly acknowledge that one, and thank you.